All right. I hope ድምጼ ጥሩ ነው እያስባለሁ. I hope I can be heard very well. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I am currently in Germany, so I don't know how to address the audience, but it's a pleasure to have everyone. Yes, it's wonderful to have everyone in this webinar on internet shutdowns organized by Internet Society Ethiopia chapter and Lawyers for Human Rights. The moderator myself, my name is Mesenbet Assefa. I am assistant professor of law at Addis Ababa University and has been working with Lawyers for Human Rights and many other NGOs on freedom of expression, digital rights, and many other human rights issues, including freedom of expression. So I feel honored to moderate this very important event on internet shutdowns. And the experience that can be gained from this workshop is, I'm sure, very huge. So in terms of our program, we have three distinguished speakers for this webinar. Ameha Mekonnen, who is a director of Lawyers for Human Rights and has been working on digital rights issues and human rights issues for a number of years in Ethiopia, who I have tremendous respect. We have Brian Shuma, who is also a digital rights activist and works on issues related with the topic that we are discussing. And then we have also Mojirayo Oliwatin, who is also who has very extensive experience on internet shutdowns, litigating on these issues on a number of countries. So we feel honored for all the speakers to be here in this webinar. In terms of really the setting out the objective, the exercise in this webinar is intended for us to understand basically, we want open internet access is a fundamental basic human rights, but we want to understand also the legal basis and the legal arguments surrounding, what is the legal basis for example, if there is in shutting down internet, what kinds of circumstances would give the state that kind of authority, and the evolving generally legal and jurisprudential development in this regard. So, like I said, this is a huge, I think, learning experience for all of us. So the three speakers will highlight on these issues. We will have also a Q&A session for the audience to have the chance to ask questions and answers after the three presenters have presented. But I again remind the audience that we will be asking the audience to be very limited in their minutes and their use of the minutes for asking, and only confined to the topic that we are discussing, so respectfully. With that note, I would like to first of all also thank very much, I think, the organizers behind this event, particularly Ato Ameha himself, Dr. Asrat, who is the president of the Ethiopia Internet Society chapter, and Ato Henok also from the LHR. We have been working behind the scenes, obviously, exchanging the texts and arranging the programs, selecting the theme of the topic for discussion. All that has been done through that. We had pre-session groups, actually, discussions before that even to arrange this, but finally today has come the day, and I'm delighted that we have made it finally. I think according to the program, after introducing this program, there will be opening and welcoming speech by Dr. Asrat himself and Ato Ameha. So I will give the floor for them to briefly make their opening and welcoming remarks. So up to you, Dr. Asrat and Ato Ameha.
Dr. Asrat, you first. You go first.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mesenbet, for the introduction, and I'm delighted to be here and for the successful of organizing this webinar, which is very interesting and eye-opening. So I am Asrat Mulatu, Associate Professor of Computer Engineering in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering of ASTU. Beside that, I am the current president of Internet Society Ethiopia chapter. So it's nice to meet you all. So I will give a brief about the Internet Society Ethiopia chapter, which is actually established in 2020 in the Gregorian calendar. So it is actually functioning under the global ISOC, which is a global internet society that has been there for 30 plus years. So its motto is basically internet is for everyone, simply. So this emanates from the basic principles that we want to be the internet open, secure, trustworthy, and affordable. And we try to achieve this through different brainstorming trainings, technical workshops, seminars, and projects, which among those is this webinar. So we want to be, and the global internet society wants to be, the administration of the internet to be multi-stakeholder. So we have currently, through this effort, we have currently more than 350 members. So we want all of you to join the Ethiopian chapter and collaborate with us to achieve our missions and visions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Asrat. Ameha and Dr. Asrat, I should have perhaps introduced you very robustly, I think, because obviously the ball is there. But maybe briefly, Dr. Asrat, like I said, has been very instrumental in helping us through our journey to organize this webinar and in general in creating open internet access in Ethiopia. He's associate professor in Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering in Addis Ababa University. His work focuses on robotics and AI. Obviously, he has MSc in electrical engineering, specialized in computer engineering, and his PhD in wireless communication systems in Addis Ababa University. He has extensively published in more than 25 research papers in international and prestigious conference and reputable journals. And like I said, Dr. Asrat has been very helpful for the work that we do here in Ethiopia as well. Ato Ameha, obviously, a wonderful colleague who we have been working for a long time. He's the executive director of Lawyers for Human Rights. For many years, we were introduced, I was introduced with Ameha with the work that he do, which was defending, political, let's say, different kinds of political prosecutions and, on freedom of expression and on others. And I had the chance to research on that, and through that, I had the opportunity to work on a number of projects with Ato Ameha. He was also a prosecutor previously at the Ministry of Justice in Ethiopia. He has distinguished recognition from various institutions, including the European Union, where he earned also the Sarkov Fellowship Prize and the Franco-German Prize for Human Rights and Rule of Law. He's a very visible figure, obviously, in Ethiopia, and it's wonderful to have you both, Dr. Asrat and Ato Ameha. Sorry, I should have introduced you.
No problem.
Ato Ameha.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Mesenbet. Hello, everyone. I think this is the safest way of greeting for this kind of platform, since no one knows who is where. So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Ameha Mekonnen, and Director of Lawyers for Human Rights. As stated by Dr. Mesenbet, this event is jointly organized by our organization, Lawyers for Human Rights, and the Internet Society, the Ethiopian chapter. At this point, allow me to begin my brief opening remark to briefly introduce our organization. Our organization, Lawyers for Human Rights, was established in September 2019. Since its establishment, our organization has been engaged in the promotion and protection of human rights through building the capacity of lawyers in the area of human rights, creating awareness to justice organs, providing pre-legal aid service for vulnerable groups, particularly the disadvantaged communities. We have been engaged in research-based advocacy and consultation towards the amendment or adoption of new laws and policies. Especially, we have been actively involved in the law reform process somewhere at the beginning of we have been also engaged in advocating for and ensuring accountability through different strategies, including strategic human rights litigation. In all the areas I mentioned, we have achieved a lot despite the multifaceted challenges, both locally and globally. In terms of our areas of focus, we have been implementing different projects related to a range of human rights, including freedom of expression and more specifically, digital rights. This webinar has also been initiated following our planned intervention in relation to the recurrent internet shutdowns in our country, which is affecting the lives of many. As we know, the number of internet users in our country is by no means negligible. Internet, in addition to being one of the best platforms to exchange information, it has also become a critical instrument to avail or accelerate basic social services, including health and education. But unfortunately, internet disruptions or deliberate acts of internet shutdowns have been growing from time to time. The frequency has increased, the area of coverage broadened, etc., etc. These days, even it appears the act no more requires a high-level decision. It has become almost a routine business. Therefore, today it is my hope that we will have relevant time to discuss the pressing issues of internet shutdowns in Ethiopia and the way forward. I should thank Internet Society, the Ethiopian chapter, its director, Dr. Asrat, Dr. Mesenbet, yourself, and our own Henok. Both are families of both organizations. And last but not least, the two panelists who are here today to share their respective views. Once again, thank you all, and I declare the webinar is officially opened. Over to you, Dr. Mesenbet.
Thank you.